Hello everyone. Sorry. Totally misread this message here. Hold on. Trying to get everything up. Up and running. Let's turn this on. All right. Welcome everyone. It's kind of loud in my ear. Let's turn that down a little bit. Oop. That's too low. Can't hear it. Okay, so welcome. I wanted to go back to Guild Wars 1 because I think I don't know. A lot of people usually like Guild Wars 1 content. I don't know how many streamers are on YouTube that stream. I know there's only like 2 or 3 on Twitch that stream it. I don't know about YouTube. I don't know if anyone at all streams this stuff. But I just still think that it's so active. I mean, look, you go in here and there's what, like 10 people playing right now, and they're probably actively playing too, most of them. If not, they're probably talking to their guildmates. Hey Raygun, how are you? How are you? Um, but yeah, I've been meaning to go back and do some Guild Wars 1 because people just like the content and it just goes really well with like theory crafting, especially going into Cantha and stuff now. Um, I'm trying to think of what to do here. I might take the Master of Whispers here as my... These would be my healing, yeah. Yeah, I want to try out this. I kind of have him set up with some stuff. I don't know if it's good. I don't even know if I have it fully done. He has that. Not bad. He has some stuff there, so he'll be fine. Yeah, we'll do some Vanquishing. We'll talk about some stuff. We'll talk about my latest video too. I'm doing good. I'm good. I just had Wendy's and I ate it like way too fast, so I'm like really full. My stomach hurts now. Like Wendy's usually doesn't make my stomach hurt, but when I eat it really fast, it does. So I'm gonna start with like just doing the Jade Sea kind of. So we're gonna start with the Boreas Sea bet, which I think I can get to from. I already have done the mount. Well, this is really interesting because they call it Mount Chinkai, but it's actually this is the actual mountain, but you never actually get to go there. So this is not, you're not actually on the actual, you're like on the side of the mountain. This is the actual like peak of the mountain over here, um, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so I'm gonna do. Oh, this is interesting. I never got the outpost here. That's okay. We're gonna start with the Jade Sea, everyone's favorite area. I think most people really. I don't know. For me, it's evenly split between the Echovald Forest and the Jade Sea as like my areas of the game. I don't know. It's really weird because I think factions, they did a really nice job because I'm very torn between all the different areas because Qingji has beautiful, like you go to the Runmuzu Gardens, that's like a beautiful outpost right there. um the valley even here, Zendaijan, that's really cool looking. Haiju Lagoon has some really cool areas. um the beaches down here are really cool, even with the pirates and stuff. That's really awesome down here and stuff. um Sunqua Vale, even with the peak on here with the mountain and stuff. I don't know. The city, of course, all kind of looks the same. There's some cool areas in here and there. But I don't know. Echovald Forest, I just love the whole atmosphere. I love the idea of this like stony forest. But then, of course, you have the Jade Sea. I don't know. I think those elements are very unique too. They're very, very unique in the way that they do the ideas and you know, the, what's the word? The the themes, right? That's very like an ocean that's solid. Like you don't see that. You see it in some aspects, but you don't see it like all the time. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I can use. Maybe some honeycombs. I have a ton of them. Yeah, we can do. I'll take some honeycombs with me. Um, remove all death penalty. But that's just for me, right? Yeah, I think that's just for me. So that's not super helpful. Um, yeah. No, I think I'm gonna just do the honeycombs, and we'll just keep it at that. You can get honeycombs really easily by collecting the Grawl necklaces in the Eye of the North area, and then you can turn them in. I think it's like per 5 you can get 1. I was gonna go there, but alright, let's talk to this guy. Let's talk this over. A bribe. I don't have... Do you mean to cheat me? Okay, hold on. We gotta go back because I don't have any money. I'm gonna grab a little bit of money. I'll grab like 1 platinum to have that on me. Look at the turtle. We're gonna get our own siege turtle soon, guys. I'm really excited for that. Alright, let's get $1. No, 1 platinum. $1,000. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Kind of just some Guild Wars 1 content. People like it. I don't know what else to really stream on Guild Wars 1. We did a playthrough of Factions. We did a playthrough of Winds of Change. I've done Eye of the North dungeons before. I've done like, I think Eye of the North, like a playthrough of it too. So, you know, there's only so much that I can really do. Oops, that is not... Yeah, there's only so many things that I can stream. Alright, so, Boreas Seabed. How do I get to all the different areas? It's just this, right? I don't know, we'll see. We're just kind of walking around. You get those big ships. I wonder if we're going to actually see those as well. Those are really cool. You can walk inside of them. You can go all the way up in there. It's really loud. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. God, we're dying. How are we dying already? Some people have already died. Jesus. How are they so strong? Oh, it's because they had assassins. Assassins are really good, actually. We should probably go for this guy, too. He has a displacement ghost spirit. Okay. There's a boss there. Alright, I'm not gonna use the honeycombs yet. We'll wait until we die a little bit or whatever. Oh god, yeah, she's getting beat up by all these people. Jesus. Wow, look at that. At least it would be enough. Oh, the Naga are attacking. Oh, we're so dead. Wow, this is really hard. Why is it so hard? It's really insane. Is it because I have a necromancer instead of like another ritualist? Should I have more ritualists with me? I don't know, but that's okay. As long as we make it slowly through here, we'll be okay. Let's pull up all the friends here. All the friends. Okay, well, she's already at 29. Oh my god, how did he get revived? Who revived him? Wow, everyone's dead. Really? That's really cool. Good job there. Guess I'm gonna use some of these. Alright, I'm gonna do it this way. So only one has 11. She's dead still. Wow, I died. My fucking god. Can you guys, like... Why would they die? What's going on? Why are we not doing enough damage? Like, we're not doing any damage right now. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Jesus. Awesome. That's good. Yeah, so you can go inside of these, which is really cool. There's a Kraken spawn. So you can go all the way up in these. They have like birds flying to kind of show like how big they are. Oh god, there's more of these outcasts. Well, there's some Kraken spawns over here. How do I get there? Oh. Gotta go around this way. So these are like Zuhanuku's spawn, but I don't know, I mean, maybe there's some other creature like Zuhanuku out there that also is a Kraken. Zuhanuku doesn't have to be the only Kraken, right? A Wingblade sword. And a Wayfarer's mark. It is the Wayfarer's reverie right now. Reverie. If you guys want to do some Guild Wars 1, you can get some extra stuff there. You can get the best thing to get is that, oh, I didn't use that, the Legionnaire Summoning Crystal. That's a really nice item to have. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna go for the Ritualist first. Yes. Yeah, see? This is how it's supposed to go. I don't know why it's been... Okay, who... Where's she? Oh, God. I accidentally placed her over there. Where's she at? Come on. Okay, she's coming. Alright, I didn't even realize I had placed her somewhere. I'm not used to the buttons. The buttons are different for me. I'm used to using my mouse buttons, but I don't have anything on here, but I still use them out of reflex. And then things like that happen, where I just misplaced. Okay, these guys are running like in circles. I just saw these guys go by like 2 minutes ago. I want to go for the Ritualist. Wow, Gwen already died. It's crazy how much damage they do. Holy shit, look at that. Look at that fucking damage. Jesus Christ. God. Wow, dead. Nightmare weapon is what got me. Target allies next 3 attacks or reduce pressure and steal up to 42 cost. Alright, we got him. How are we doing on faction? Oh, we both, well, pretty high on both of them. Which one is higher? Which title is higher? The Luxon one is higher. Steward of the Luxons. Okay, well. That's okay. So this corner is done, I think, right? Because they like walk around in circles here, so I can go back on the beach here. I don't know. Can I go back on the beach? Yes, I can. Look at that. It's gonna be so cool to be able to like run across this like on a mountain stuff. I'm really excited for that. This is where I saw the Kraken, right? Oh, there was another path down to it. Okay. Oh God, the Naga are attacking. I didn't see that. Kill them. They're not as bad as the outcasts. The outcasts hit like trucks. There's also not as many. There's also not as many. 20 faction there. Another Wayfarer's mark. Always good to see that. I don't know. I don't know what you can get. I think you get like party items with that stuff. Nothing crazy, I don't think. Another Kraken spawn. One by itself. That's really suspicious, isn't it? Dragon's Birth. Well, that's a fitting name, isn't it? Kill it. Kill it. Okay, there we go. Alright, we all know this is gonna be horrible. Let's get these guys right here. The other one's doing a ton of damage to us. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Who did we? Oh, I was gonna say, who said who? Like, how did we set them on fire? And then I forgot I have my my ruby gen. All right, we gotta get these guys. Wasn't there another boss somewhere around here? I thought there was another boss somewhere around here, but I don't. Let's see. This is a big group. This is not gonna go well. Actually, let's attack these warriors first. Okay, yeah, attacking the warriors first, I think that's a smart move to do. Oh, they're fighting each other? Lovely. We can jump right in and help them out. Everything's on cooldown, they're still half dead, this is great. It's gonna be easy prey for us. Yeah, look at that. That worked out well. Okay, nice. So far, so good. We're gonna have to explore all these different areas. Look at that. It looks really cool. Ship like that. I hope... I saw someone talk about this where they were talking about the like what it means that we have ships now, and they're talking about like maybe we're gonna get like naval battle and things like that, which at first I was like, oh, that sounds like that's never gonna happen. But what I would like to see is maybe some capital ships for like guilds and stuff that you can only use in like bigger like waters and stuff. Ooh, look, the Oni guys. Like, I would love to see that. I would love to see like something where we have like some capital ships that we can like mount as a guild or something, or even like have like an expansion for the new guild hall that we can get, like if you level up your guild high enough or something, that you get like the ship out on the like in the water or something that you can like like move around maybe or something. I don't know, it'd be really cool to have something like that. Alright, there's the boss, but everyone else is already dead, so I'm not too worried about that boss, honestly. Because everyone already kind of died. Well, this guy is still alive, but... Ooh, Kraken spawn. Let's kill it. There's another one over there. Walk around. What's up there? There's Luxons. These are enemy Luxons. Oh, that's where the guild hall is. That guild hall, that the 1,000 Daggers guild or whatever they're called. Yeah. It's like the only guild hall you see out in the world, I think, like ever. Let's go do that. Actually, before I forget that Kraken spawn, let's kill them first. Yeah, that ship looks so cool. Even from far away, you're like, wow, that's awesome. Reminds me of those ships from Freelancer. The Kusari ships. They look kind of like that. Which just looks like a Piranha, but there's actually another ship called Piranha in Freelancer too. So I love this. You guys can't really see the conversation here, but I guess they're building something. They're doing some kind of something. some kind of mission or something, the alliances, and then one person was like, "What do you need?" And the guy that's organizing it says everything, and then a third person says, "I'll come ranger," and then the guy who's organizing everything that said everything, like they need everything, says, "I'm ranger." LOL. I'm like, then you don't need range. Like, why would you say you need everything if you don't need everything? Kind of silly, isn't it? I don't know. Is it just me? I think, okay, I'm gonna die here. I didn't have, I was kind of an idiot. I walked right into that. I think there's some random spawns that come out here too. I think if I cross this bridge, so I'm gonna wait until everyone heals up. That was really annoying. I, like, died. Wow, I'm already halfway done with this? That's crazy. There's not that many enemies? I suppose not, because you can't, I don't think you can go back into the arena, so it's just a matter of doing like this part right here. So I've already done pretty much a lot of it. I know there's a boss, but that's the guild hall right here, guys. It's really cool because it's like a little town, but they made it into like the Daggers Guild or whatever, so that's kind of cool. I guess none of the random spawns, they only happen during that quest. There's a quest that you can do where you have to go out here and you have to kill like the I guess it's the boss of the guild or something, the guild leader, the guild master or something you have to kill. I forgot what it was. For one reason or another, I don't know, they're like criminals, really. They're like, they do bad things. But it'd be really cool to see the guild, this particular guild hall, come back as like an actual, like not as a guild hall, but like as a location in the game, where it's like maybe the ruins of this guild hall, of that particular building in the back there. They're like crumbled to pieces, and it's like a point of interest or something, and it's called like the Thousand Dagger Ruins or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't think we're gonna go this far out. From what we've seen on the map, we only will get like, it's really strange because the way they cut the map is like they cut it long ways. They cut like all the top part out of it, the palace and everything. From what they've shown, like they show all of Xingji, right? But it's like cut off right above and it goes straight across. So it's like a lot of the city is like blocked off. We're actually gonna go to a part that we have never been to, which is really weird. But I think they're just trying to change the flow, instead of it having like going from here to like up here and then splitting into two. They're gonna have you start here, like somewhere like, I don't know, like, you know, maybe this little town that we can't ever get to, because there's that little port right here, and there's these little pathways into the mountains that you can't actually ever go to, and it's the coolest thing because they have a lot of detail down there. But there's an actual like port town down there that you can see. There's also like houses like on on these mountain ridges on the side that you can't actually get to. But it'd be kind of cool to go there and then from there move across here and then into the Echowild Forest over these mountains, going to Arborstone and stuff, and then going into the Jade Sea or something. I'm not sure. Wow, we're going way out there. Jesus. Oh, well, you guys go do that. I'm gonna collect the items here. Or at least this item. Yes, throwback. We did hard race. How did the race go? You know, you are correct. It's a throwback, but I also think that the community is like still so alive and stuff. If you like really play, it's still a pretty viable game to play to this day. Oh my god, I died. This guy's hard. Kill him first. He's level 30. He's a butthole. Kill the butthole. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat today. Oh, I got a lockpick. I broke one of them earlier. I only have like, I have 5. Yeah, I broke 1. Okay, cool. So we did that. Nice. Moving on. We're doing pretty good. I'm surprised that we're going through this so fast. Maybe I'll get 2 maps done today. I thought that it'll be like 1 map at a time, but I guess we're gonna like one map per day that we're gonna do. But it's kind of cool to see those armors too. Look at that. That's warrior armor right there. Got the Swords. The swords. Alright. There's a reef lurker down. Oh, I forgot that mark. Oh, wow. Too bad. Can you go down there? Oh, no, you can't. It's blocked off. I want to know what's there. I want to know what's upriver. The ocean. Look at this. You can go right, if you follow this, into the ocean. Where does the jade end, though? Right? That's the question. This is not all jade, right? Does it stop, like, right here? Right here? Right there? Where does it stop? Because this is all jade from what we can see. Yeah. So, you know, when you know, you know. I love the Jade Sea. It's really pretty. Can't wait. The music is good. Oh, Oni, look at that. My friends, my tentacled mouth friends. Look at these guys. Don't tell me, like, seriously, guys. In the video, I was talking about, like, Cthulhu a lot, but come on. This is, like, so, like, a mini Cthulhu right here. Are you kidding me? Super mini Cthulhu. Like, come on. Look at those. Look at those tentacles, those eyeballs, the way his whole body is shaped. Super Cthulhu-esque. I could totally see them being, like, dragon minions. So I guess we're gonna find out more stuff about Oni soon, right? Because if people are right and the sword in the picture for the Revenant is connected to Kanaxai, then we're gonna see some Kanaxai moves, maybe some Oni stuff. You know, I don't know. Is it like an assassin spec with a greatsword? We shall see. I don't know. What does Kanaxai? I don't think Kanaxai uses any weapon, does he? I don't know what he uses. I don't know what he uses. Alright, more Kraken spawns. See, and they spawn right next to each other? That's very strange. I'm just kidding. That's totally probably a coincidence. Okay, how did no one heal me? What the fuck is going on? It's like I have 3 healers in my team and no one healed me. Thanks, dudes. Really great. Ooh, Kraken high. My fear, I think my biggest fear that I have for End of Dragons is that they don't use a lot of Cantha lore. That they don't use any of the enemies. Like, we saw Naga, but that's the only, like, returning enemy we've really seen. We haven't seen any other enemies. And my fear is just that, oh, I love this. It's like a little house. Oh. And my fear is that they don't use the Oni, or that they don't use the Kraken. Oh my god, I got every spell interrupted. All 5 spells were interrupted. I couldn't cast not one spell. That's insane. Dude, look at this house. Okay. That's my only fear. I really want them, because I do hate when they, like, retcon stuff, right? We don't like that stuff. But I also don't like when they don't use any of the stuff they have already available. Like, that kind of sucks. You know, if they, like, create, you know, I really hate it when we went to Path of Fire, and so when we first saw Balthazar, you know, he was Lazarus, right? So he, of course, was dealing with the White Mantle. Then the next, so before we even knew who he was, all of a sudden he had switched to mercenaries. It wasn't White Mantle anymore. There were now mercenaries. So I'm already like, okay, but that was because they revealed it was Balthazar and they didn't want to give away that it was Balthazar, so they gave him, like, these random people that weren't White Mantle in order to kind of keep that still a secret. And that kind of all makes sense if you think about it. Like, that makes total sense. But then it kind of gets weird, because then he continues to use these mercenaries. So you're like, okay, so we didn't get to see in season 3 any Zaishins. And it's like, okay, alright, cool. And then all of a sudden, going into Path of Fire, we see Forged, which are like, oh yeah, by the way, he has this army all of a sudden. Even though we followed him right into the desert, all of a sudden he has this entire army that's spread across the entire desert. Even though he just recently went to the desert. Like, he wasn't there for a whole year before we got there. He was there like in real time. He was there maybe like a month before that we got there. I don't know, like at most I feel like. So it's just kind of like, okay, so he made this entire army that's now invading the entire desert, the entirety of Ilona, in like a month, which is already like crazy enough as it is. Um, but then it's like we see Zaicians actually being a part of Path of Fire. Right in the beginning, we see them like going to the tents of like the refugees in Amnoon and being like, they're, and of course they're on his side and stuff, which is, good to see. But that's the only time you see them. There's no other Zaicians like at all anywhere in Path of Fire. And I'm like, we already have like a group of people that's um like these devout followers of Balthazar. And in season 3 they kind of set this up to be, because in when you go to talk to this is actually at the very end of season 3, when you go to talk to Anise in the palace, there's the priest of Balthazar who's like ready to fight in the name of Balthazar and stuff. And there's you get dialogue throughout the whole like season 3, I guess, when they find out that it's Balthazar, that are all like supporting Balthazar, and that's great and all. But then it's like they don't use that. I'm like, why wouldn't they have all, like, they could have had Zaicians. They could have an army of Zaicians. We could have been fighting Zaicians the whole time. But then they wanted to go with like, oh yeah, Joko was helping him with like souls of the dead, and then they like infused it. And I'm like, I never was on board with the forged idea. I always hate it. I'm like, who are these forged? Like, why are they there? It just seemed really stupid. So I hope they don't do the same thing. Like, I don't want to see, like, I'd rather have them twist some random race in the game to be like the dragon minions, rather than, oh, so this is like part of the, like, I think outpost or something, but it's like blocked off. That's kind of cool. Um but yeah, it's just to me, I don't want them to like retcon that stuff. I don't want them to like, or not retcon, but like change it up where they're like, oh, okay, well, we're fighting the dragon now. We've never seen the minions, and the minions are something we've never seen before. Like, you have so much in the Guild Wars lore that you can use to tie like the whole world of Guild Wars together a little bit better. Like, for example, like, I don't understand why Balthazar all of a sudden creates these forged. Why has he never created them before in the past? Why has he always relied on the Zaicians beforehand? Like, why were the Zaicians like his followers and stuff? Like, the Zaician order in Guild Wars 1 was huge. That was like a ton of people that, like, the literally, when you go to the Great Temple of Balthazar, those are all Zaicians. It's like literally an army of people that are all like Zaician people and stuff. And it's like, okay, he's never made Forge before. Is he just so desperate to defeat like the dragons that he like aligns himself with the Lich Joko in order to like make this? I don't know, it just seems weird when he has all these humans that are clearly trying to follow him, that are wanting to like work with him and stuff. I think that, I don't know, I never really liked that part of it. So I hope they don't do the same thing where they're like, oh, okay, here is the deep sea dragon, and the minions are these things, and they're all new species that we like, a whole new species we've never seen before. Because that's like, okay, come on, you have all these different enemies in the world that you can use. And I'm not saying like, oh, I want my theory to be true. Like, that's not even the point here. The point really is of, okay, we don't even need to be here, but you can go back into the arena, which is really kind of weird. um but yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, I just, and like I said, I don't. It's not about me being right on my theory, but to me, it's more like I want them to tie the universe together better, which I think they kind of missed a little bit of that in Path of Fire, where they created like a whole new thing. So I really hope that they use something that we already have and make that into the minions. And even with like the Wardens, for example, we talk about the Wardens, and it's like we haven't talked about the Wardens. I could make a video about the Wardens, but the Wardens are like really interesting because they're like Sylvari, and they're like bound to the Echowild Forest, and they're trying to get rid of everyone in the Echowild Forest. So what if they are like, what if this, what if this is where like Mordramoth left like a version of the Pale Tree or something a long time ago, and it's like the like another version of the Pale Tree, but the Pale Tree obviously was like influenced by Ventari and by Ventari's tablet, and of course was grown on the Ronan was his name, I think. Something Ro something Ro. Rowan, whatever he was called. But they, you know, they were influenced by those two because of where the seed was planted and stuff like that. But what if, like, you know, the Wardens are the, like, another version of the Mordrem, you know, their own version of Mordrem or whatever, that could have been influenced by something else. Because if the Savari can be influenced by having been planted on like on a grave of the humans, of two dead humans, and influenced by Ventari like tending to it and stuff, there could have been someone else. There could have been some kind of demon or something that was like doing it to the like equivalent of the like Echowild Forest version, or maybe in the Echowild Forest there's like a big tree somewhere, and that was the old Pale Tree, and maybe it didn't like have an avatar or something, or maybe it did and we just, you know, have never heard of it or something. It's like deep in the Echowild Forest, really protected by Wardens and stuff, and they've been there since like the last rise of the Elder Dragon, but then when everything turned to stone, it maybe killed the like the avatar, you know, like maybe it killed it to the point where the Wardens don't have like a mother anymore that guides them or whatever, and so they're now like the only thing they know is protect the forest and stuff. And that's why when we go there, there's really no directions to them. They're just kind of wandering around protecting the forest from outside forces, and they're not really aligned with anyone, because they don't have like a dream anymore, because their tree was like turned to stone or something. Which could also lead to something happen where, you know, obviously it looks like the Echowild Forest is not stone anymore, so that when we get to the Echowild Forest, that now the Wardens maybe are under the influence of a tree. You know, I mean, that would be kind of cool, but... Hey, we finished it. Nice. Already done. I never opened those. I saw that chest earlier. Cool, we already vanquished. Wow, we got 10,000 Luxon faction. Holy crap. Well, we're gonna keep on going here. Oh! Oh! There's Oni. Wow, all of them have been breaking. Like, I've broken so many of them now. So unlucky on this stuff. Alright, kill them. We've already gotten our reward. Yeah, they don't count. Oh, I gotta sell all this stuff. I'm gonna sell all this crap. I don't think I need any of this. No, versus ogres. Like, I don't ever fight ogres. I'm gonna sell everything. Make a ton of money. Alright, cool. We finished that. My Sheng Hills I already have done before. This one is a pain in the ass, too. I've done the Gala Hatchery. This was very recent I did this one. Rhea's Crater has like a shit ton of enemies. Like a shit ton. So we can do the archipelago. Archipelagos. So, I actually see a name of a person that I do want to talk to because I never talked to them, but I did in the video I talked about them. So we're gonna. I think I'm full on the fibers. Alright, slow everything. Put some cold here. This guy. Is he the guy? Is he the one that talks about the outcast being, or the Oni being advanced outcasts? Oni are curious creatures. We of the Turtle Clan believe they were once human, but have become twisted by terrible nightmares from deep within the Jade Sea. They're similar to the Luxons known as outcasts, driven to the edge of insanity and irrationally violent. Oni may hold the key to discovering the true nature of the outcasts. Bring me to Oni and I'll give you this in return. So, in the wiki it's more heavily implied, or it says that it's more heavily implied that this guy thinks that outcasts are advanced Oni. He doesn't really say that. I mean, it says they believe, they were once human, and they were twisted from something deep within the Jade Sea. So again, kind of going on what I was talking about, like, the Jade, the deep sea dragon sleeping under the Jade Sea and corrupting everything around it. I mean, that would make so much sense, right? That would make so much crappy sense, like so much crappy sense, so much freaking sense. Like honestly, and then it says similar to the Lexans known as outcasts, driven to the edge of insanity and irrationally violent. May hold the key to discovering the true nature of the outcasts. Not sure how that he draws that connection there, but I mean, it's still like a, like an interesting theory and stuff. But I really think that the dragon sleeping under the Jade Sea is not that far-fetched, like at all, because they always talk about how these people were corrupted being in the deep, and I'm like, this could be really easily used like that. I mean, that if ArenaNet doesn't easily do that, they could definitely, they could do that. The creeping carps could also be minions, right? Because they kind of look, they're fish-like, right? Or the Urikanji, or whatever they're called, the scuttlefish. I mean, any of these could be minions. They could all be minions. So. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. These are much easier to fight. Okay, I kind of want to kill these guys. This guy in particular, because I think he's a healer. I gotta sneeze. Sorry, guys. Jesus. Huh. Came out of nowhere, too. Archipelagos. There's Kappa. Didn't they mention Kappa? I think they mentioned Kappa at some point, somewhere. I really want them to do like a little trailer of like the creatures of End of Dragons. Like I kind of really want them. I don't know, and I like I said, I'm really surprised when they did the live stream where they, the reveal, not the reveal live stream. What did they call it? The first look live stream. I really imagined them going more into detail about a lot of different things, and they didn't do that. They really, really didn't do that, and I'm surprised. Like I was expecting to get the deep sea dragon name, like the name of the deep sea dragon. I was expecting to get like maybe a minion, maybe a champion of it, but we didn't get any of that. I'm like, huh, they're really. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to spread out the news. They're trying to stop doing the whole like let's reveal everything all at once, and just kind of do like their weekly, like here's this weekly information and this weekly information, to keep us occupied for the next 6 months and kind of keep the hype going and stuff, which I think is a good tactic, but it also is kind of like it's just kind of annoying because we sit there and we don't know, like, Like, when are we gonna get the new information? When are we gonna see all the stuff? Like, I want to know which elite spec I'm using, you know, because I want to work towards a weapon that I'm gonna use or whatever. So, but yeah, and then I just, for me, it's also one of those things. The longer I'm gonna go in circles. I'm gonna go in a circle around and then kind of kind of whirlpool in, like, so I'm gonna keep going on around. This is really cool with the ship. Like, that's, I mean, it wouldn't look like that after like God knows how many years it's been, but that's okay. But yeah, so for me it's like, I don't know, I get kind of annoyed because it's like, okay, we're stretching this out now, and we're kind of stretching this out for like longer than even half a year. I mean, this is, you know, when was the live stream? The live stream was like a month ago, and it's like we have until like February or something, whenever the release is, I forgot. But so it's just kind of like a long period of time between now and then, even though with them probably releasing information like, you know, every week we're getting some kind of new information in some shape or form. It kind of feels like they're gonna stretch it out like a little bit too long. By the end of it, I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, just release the game, like release the expansion. You know, I'm happy that they're taking their time with it. I am, but then I'm also like, give me more information now so I can just plan what I'm doing. I would really hate to like have to wait until the very end to say, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what I'm excited for. Like, I want to know what I'm excited for right now. I don't know what I'm excited for because I'm a type of person, I love the lore and I love the environments and I love like those kinds of things, but I don't really, oh, there's that outpost right here. But I don't know any of that stuff yet, so I can't even, like, Xingji looked awesome, but that's all we have seen so far is Xingji Island. So, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, there's some Oni. And but you know, it's, and they're doing the same thing like they did with Heart of Thorns, where they like every week would release information. Back then it was blog posts, right? That's how they did. They didn't have like their live stream and stuff that they used to do. Back then I don't think they did. Maybe they did, like, not as often, but now they're trying to do them like way more often. But yeah, back then it was just like, oh, here's a blog post, like, you know, a couple of pages of stuff you can read about, and then next week is like, okay, we're doing a blog post about this. And it's like, okay. Arena. Yeah, so there's a little arena here where people fight. I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't know if we're gonna see any of these locations. They seem very like, I feel like in the Jade Sea specifically, they're very repetitive on the stuff that you see. There's a lot of stuff where you're like, okay, this is a repeat. This kind of looks like something else. And they could, you know, we're probably not going to see a lot of that stuff. Whoa. What the heck just happened? I rubber banded, guys. Okay, are you going to all move with me? What's going on? Are you all... Oh, they're all caught behind these guys. Oh, that's not great. You guys coming? Oh, okay, they came free. Jesus. I rubber banded. I was wondering when the one was following me. It doesn't happen too often nowadays. I'm gonna go this way. This reminds me of the this exact area. Kind of reminds me of that place in Skyrim, like on the northern edge, where it's like that old city that's like completely destroyed or whatever, and you have that college that's like close by, whatever it's called, and you have to go and do that quest. We have to go inside of there like multiple times. You have to do that, I think, for that like college quest or whatever. I don't remember, but it was like this old city that was destroyed by the invading people or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of, because it kind of looks just like that. Taking on a lot here, taking on a lot of people. Yeah. Ooh. Forgiveness, that's Lissa's job. Yeah, Lissa. Someone commented on the video that I was talking about, like, duality, and they were exactly right with their comment, because they were talking about like how duality is like a huge theme in factions itself, because you have the opposing like Luxons versus the Kurziks, and they're very different in culture and stuff, and even the environments are like pretty opposing. Where you have kind of Xingje versus the Kaining City, and then you have the Equald Forest versus the Jade Sea kind of thing. They're kind of like all very opposing. But then you also have, and I pointed that out, where you have the Ampha and the Jade Brotherhood that are fighting each other in the streets here, where they're very different, because the Ampha are like your criminals and stuff like that, and it looks more like the Jade Brotherhood is like your mob, where they have like money, like they have like money going around, where the Ampha are just like these petty criminals kind of thing. So it's a little bit different there. Um, but yeah, it's very, there's a lot of duality going on in Cantha, and I think it has to do really with like the Asian theme of yin and yang kind of thing, where yin and yang aren't necessarily, when you look up like actual yin and yang lore and stuff, like not lore, but like the actual like thing behind it, as far as I know, as far as I remember, I haven't done it in a long time, I haven't like looked into it in a long time, the like theme of yin and yang is more like, it's not like good and evil, it's more like two opposing forces in some way, not necessarily good and evil, but also not necessarily not good and evil. Like good and evil can be yin and yang, but it's also like, just two opposing forces that stand for like different things, and I think we see a lot of that in factions, and I think they really embrace that, that coming from the like Asian culture and stuff. So they really embrace that, and I hope that they kind of carry that over into Guild Wars 2. But it really looks like that to me, because I really think that with them stretching out, like, my question is, why haven't they revealed the name of the deep sea dragon yet? Okay, I think there's a specific reason. I think it's because they really want to like hint at there being two dragons, because we for the longest time didn't see anything, and then for the big first look preview stream, they showed at the very end, they didn't show anything about dragons at all, and they didn't like in the beginning show one picture and then at the very end show another picture. No, at the very end they showed both pictures at the very end of the stream, one being above the Harvest Temple and then one being like below the ocean and something and stuff. So I'm like, did they just show two pictures of the same dragon like in two different locations? That doesn't seem right to me. It just seems very deliberate to me that they did that on purpose, to be like, oh, here's a picture of one dragon and here's a picture of another dragon, but you don't know that they're two different dragons. So I think they did that very deliberate, and I think they're trying to stretch that out because they're waiting for people to, like, we might get some previews here and there, like, little sneak peeks, little like teasers about the dragon, I think. And I think they're gonna more and more hint at that being the case, that there is two dragons, so that the people that are making these theories can just be like, make these theories, and then in the end be like, oh my god, I knew it, like kind of give this, it kind of gives me the vibe of how they did with like Oreen, for example, right? And this is a spoiler for season 4, if anyone hasn't watched or played season 4, you should probably not listen for the next few minutes, but Oreen dies during season 4, and they made this whole like interactive thing on the website. You could go on the website and there was this like these stories you could read about like gridlock and stuff, and how everyone is like just kind of like completely just distraught and destroyed, and like everyone's like, it's over, it's done with and stuff, and they let us sit on that for like months without hinting at anything, then to only say like, oh yeah, by the way, she ate Joko, so she's fine, and she has these powers to revive herself now, because she ate, an undying lich, an undead lich. And I think they're kind of doing the same thing here, where they're dropping these hints, they're showing this stuff, only to then say like, oh yeah, you guys thought it was only one dragon? It's actually two dragons. But there was like hints throughout where they kind of had that, where we could have, with Aurene, we could have guessed that too, where some people did theorize that, where they were like, oh yeah, well, she ate the lich, so she's just gonna come back to life, and some people did theorize that. And I think they're gonna kind of do the same thing, where they're kind of letting us sit on this, where of course we're like, End of Dragons will show us the last dragon, and they're not showing us the last dragon, only to then be like, okay, yeah, well, here's the last dragon. Turns out it's two of them. So I'm gonna keep this area for last, I guess. I'm gonna kind of go around to the left here, clear all this out, go across here, do these, because I know there's, I think, a couple enemies up here. Then come across here if I can through the thing here. Do all these, and then I'll move down into here. Like, I'll finish this up, go down here. Okay, so let's do that. Kind of systematically go through it in a way. But yeah, I really hope that we do get like a really cool reveal for the dragon. Even if it's not like too, I don't know, I still have that whole idea of like, and I never thought about this, I never put that into that kind of perspective, but when you look at the trailer that they show, during the, was it the teaser trailer? I don't remember, but no, it wasn't the teaser trailer. It was the one that they had for the light at the end of the live stream, or during the live stream, or whatever that was, where there's like these voices, and Aurene is trying to talk to this voice, and then this voice is like distracted or whatever. I'm always like, who are all these people talking? Like, we know it's Aurene, we don't know who the other person is. But then it's like, we know Kunavang is around as well, and it's like, okay, like, is Kunavang the champion of the one dragon, and then there's like another champion of another dragon or something? I don't know, but it just makes me wonder who all those people are that are talking and what's going to be revealed. Because I don't think that person, we saw that woman, right, and we kind of had that woman that was she's working with the jade, right, with the dragon jade as they call it, and she developed like these weird generators or whatever, right? She's like responsible for all that. Now we kind of see her talking, but she also talks pretty badly about like the dragons, right? And she talks about like, oh yeah, Cantha isn't just like some thing, some thing you can just like do whatever with, it's like I'll show you guys what's up, so I don't think she's the one, because it kind of sounds like her talking, but I don't think that's her talking in any of the videos beside the lines that she says when we see her. I think it's other people talking in those same instances. So that makes me think of like, okay, maybe Kunavang is talking to the deep sea dragon, and maybe that's who's talking in the beginning, but it's like, maybe it's the two opposing dragons that are talking to each other. Like, maybe they're not like enemies or something. Maybe they're like opposing forces, but maybe they're like on like this truce with each other or something. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find all that out. But what I'm kind of excited about was that my theory was like, wasn't really confirmed, but I guess based on the look of the dragon and stuff, that my part of the theory where the statues that we see, there's like one statue you see like right up here. I think that's the statue right here, with the dragon statue, as well as the one that you have down here. Those statues show the deep sea dragon. That's what the deep sea dragon looks like. And it's really cool because I was just like, oh my god, like I was right on that, you know? That was really cool. I was really excited to see that. I was like, yes. I don't have, okay, I don't have any add-ons playing. I have no add-ons for Guild Wars 1. I was gonna say, I'm like, this is Guild Wars 1. I'm like, I have no, there's add-ons for Guild Wars 1. I know there's a text mod that you can use, but all right. Well, we can do the trek at some point, or maybe even later tonight. Cause I'll come on. I'll be on Guild Wars 2 after this. After I'm done with this. Ooh, there's a boss. Razor tongue frost spit. Ew, gross. That's disgusting. That's really funny though that you think Guild Wars 1 looks cleaner than Guild Wars 2. It's really funny. Am I streaming Guild Wars 2? Is that, do I have the wrong like the wrong game playing? Never played. Well, it's more of like your dungeon crawler kind of thing because you have the different outposts that you can go to. You can see other people. You can meet up with your friends and stuff. And you know, I'm part of a guild, and you're part of an alliance as well. Like your guild is probably part of an alliance at some point and stuff. And so you can play with other people. Like I have 7 heroes in my party right now, but I could be playing with other people. But it's more dungeon crawly because everywhere you go, like the open world is actually instance. So these are like all instances that I can go into, and only the people you're in the party with can be in the same instance as you. So it's a little bit more of like a dungeon crawler type of thing. It's more like Vindictus or whatever, you know, one of those games. That's okay, yeah. What? Your cat is staying. Guild Wars 2. My cat? What are you talking about? Raygun, you're so funny. You crack me up all the time. Because you make literally the funniest typos ever. Like, they're not just like random typos where like one letter. It's like you create like whole new words and stuff. Like, and I'm just always like, what? So funny. I could be streaming Guild Wars 2. I don't know. I don't know what it said when I started it. Okay, did I open that box? Really? I think I did. Oh, my category is saying Guild Wars 2? Well, that's shitty. Hold on. Can I change it on here? I think I can. How do I do it? How do we do that, guys? Does anyone know? Edit. I can do that right here. Game. Customization? Nope. Nope. I typed in Guild Wars. Okay, first of all, I didn't capitalize Wars. That's already driving me nuts. Well, because you know what? I think it's because I tagged Guild Wars 2 as, hold on, let me do it like that. I think it's because I have it as a hashtag, Guild Wars 2, so I think it assumed automatically that I was playing Guild Wars 2. But I changed the name, so, or I changed the, whatever. I think I changed it. It doesn't matter. We're almost done with this map too. We still got to do this area here, and then this part right here is hard. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of enemies there. There's gonna be a lot of Naga, and I love Naga, but fighting them, no. Just no. These scuttlefish and stuff are really. Ooh, look at Keisei Stormray. Whoa, Oni. I love Oni, guys. Them popping up out of nowhere. Oh, man. Can't wait for End of Dragons when they do the same thing to me. Cross my fingers and hope to die. Because I want that to happen. I want that to be the thing. I'm still drinking my Wendy's Coke. Except Wendy's. I haven't had Wendy's in like a month, and it's the only like fast food I ever eat. But yeah, I stuffed my face with Wendy's today. Yeah, these enemies are really easy to beat. I'm glad there's no outcasts here. Outcasts would have whooped my butt by now. How's everyone on... Let's see. They're all good on morale boost too. Okay. She must have died at some point. He must have... she must have died. He must have died. At some point in time. Probably way in the beginning. Alright, let's clean up here. Help! These savage bees are trying to eat me for dinner. He spawns enemies, doesn't he? Who? Who's trying to eat you? What are you talking about, sir? Are you delusional? Are you seeing things? Alright. And he's a monk, too. He's healing. Decaying mass. That's okay. We'll leave that there. We'll have to face these guys now. Beep, 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 beep. Come on, friends. All my friends. Alright, I'm going to resummon my Ruby Djinn here. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Oh, it's a monk, too? Yeah, let's kill him first. He's a smiting monk. Healing light. Healing. What does healing light do? I don't even know what it does. Die, please. Okay, you died. You dead. Look at all this faction. All these faction points. I can get a lot of Jadeite shards. Jadeite? Is that what they're called? Jadeite shards? I don't know. Whatever they're called. Whatever they're called. The ones you need for the armor. I could do not Luxon armor. Maybe the Mesmer's Luxon armor looks cool. I don't know. I still want to get my Guam title. I've never gotten it. People have like... I saw a guy the other day who's like, oh yeah, I'm working on my like 15th Guam title. I'm like, what? How the hell? How do you have so much time to do that? Like, do you people not work? Do you not have lives? Do you just sit here 24/7 in front of this game and play it? I can't do that. Like, I'm always like, going shopping here, repairing this at my house, taking care of the animals here, doing this, doing that. Working, you know, it's a thing. Look at that ship. That would have broken a long time ago. Still, it's kind of cool. It's supposed. I guess it's supposed to lean up on the rock there. That's okay. Look at my army of minions here. The Master of Whispers is really. He has an army of minions. They look. I mean, the minions in Guild Wars 1 look like so much better. Look at these creepy motherfuckers. Look at them. Look at these guys. They're like, we're gonna fuck you up. It looks so much better. Oh, let's not walk through that. Don't walk through that. Ah, they walked through it. See it? Gives you that. Gives you 25 damage every time. Spiked coral. Alright, now to the last part of this map, which has 300 million Naga, and they're probably gonna rip us a new one. Oh, there's Kappa too. That's right, they do have some Kappa here as well. And tigers. Let's open this. Ah, really? I'm already through all of mine? Oh my god, that's so annoying. I already used up all 5 of them anyways. My lockpicks, that's so annoying. Alright, identify that. I don't care about that staff. I don't want to identify it. Alright, kill the Naga. Kill the Kappa. Kill them all. Oops, that is not the right skill to use. Let's get some energy tap. Yeah. Okay, Wayfarer's Mark. It's good to have those. How many do I have of those now? 11. Cool. Alright. Okay. Well, if we can at least get some of these, because the groups down here in that area too, they have like so much of a like. They walk like really far. They like the groups have like such a long patrol that they take that like sometimes you like fight like an enemy like right in the middle, and then like all these random patrols will like pop out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, what the fuck is this? Who are all these enemies? So, but I've already taken care of like this group down here, which I think there was a boss there, wasn't there? Um, but yeah, this is the hardest part right here. But there is a Shriner here, so we'll be able to, even if we die. I love that staff that Xandra has. That's a really cool staff. The skin of it, at least. It's a decayed staff, underworld pillar. Now this is the one from the celebrate the anniversary weapons. So this one casts the same attack as the spirits do. So when she attacks, her auto attack is the same as the, like, you can kind of, if you look at her, you can kind of maybe see it. Yeah, that little ball she just threw. It's the same as attack as the spirits do, but it's that's the only weapon that does that. There's no other weapon that has it like that, I think. There's some that are very similar to it. But yeah. So okay. Yeah, see, this is where, like, the patrols, they, like, walk around a ton. And there might be, like... Is there more anywhere? I don't think there's any more. So I think for patrols, this is it. I think there's some quests that actually give you a ton more enemies in the area. So that's fine. That's okay. Get back here. Okay, so there's a Blessed of Dwayna, which is interesting because it's a Naga. How the frick are they blessed by Dwayna? But that's okay. I don't know if that was an oversight or if that was, like, actually, like, is there some deep lore where it's like, oh, Dwayna blessed all the creatures, not just the humans. Oh, please, I hope. Oh, there's some Oni. Do you see them in the back there? Interesting. Sword. Let's get the ritualists, because I think they're the ones healing everyone right now. Okay. So I'm hoping that with those 3 Oni over there, that will be it for this map. I don't know, but this is the little houses that the Naga live in. So they live in these little huts. And that's the dwellings, the Naga dwellings. We haven't really seen, like, we've seen Crate in Guild Wars 2 with their, like, the structures that they build, but even, like, those aren't really houses, right? They didn't really, like, they don't really live in those. I mean, do they? They probably do, but it's like, doesn't really look like a house. Okay, so that's done. That wasn't too hard. This is as far, well, you can go in here, and there's an area there. It's the time, we still have like an hour to go. Let's do Reyes Crater. It's gonna probably be the biggest one, but I think it also has the biggest amount of, like, enemies and stuff that you can find. Okay, I need to find a merchant. I have to walk all the way over there? I guess I do. So, Cleo Desmos records. Oh yeah, this is a thing you can do. What is that? So this is, I think, as far as you. So it's kind of cool because you don't really, like, what's in these mountains, right? I always wonder. I'm like, oh, what's in these mountains or in these mountains, or on this island? Like, this island is like way out there, and it's like way in the south. It's like, is it just like wildlife? Is it just, does no one live there? Is it like Naga territory? Like, what's going on? So many things, you know. That's the thing that's good about Guild Wars 2, I think, is because they don't do, like, they like connect a lot of stuff together and then create, you know, you look at you compare the maps, you can go on, like, that shaman's guide, and you can look at how they, like, the maps line up and stuff, and it's really cool because in Guild Wars 2 they connect a lot of the, like, old land masses from, like, Guild Wars 1, especially in, like, the core maps and stuff, where they, like, just, you know, they combine it really well together. I know that a lot of them look kind of boxy. Like Queensdale, for example, has like a perfect rectangular shape of mountains around it. It's just like, wow, that looks really unnatural. But it's always because they want to go with perfectly square maps. They don't have to do perfectly square maps. I don't know why they always go for perfectly square maps. They could have like where they block off a large part of a map and make it look more natural. You know, have a mountain range instead of like a perfect square. Like, how do I draw here again? I know there's a way to draw on this, isn't there? I know the buttons are like, I don't think I can draw on the overall. I think I can only draw on Guilders too. No, we'll go this way, we'll go around that way, we'll come around this way. Or something, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, instead of like having a perfectly boxed map, they could have like, or put it here, and then really like block off this area because this is like just a mountain or whatever. And you can't climb it up or something. I mean, they have the technology to do that. I don't know why they don't do that more often. So we have rock-hide dragons. These are really interesting because they are not really dragons, but they're more like turtle dragons, right? And we also have a celestial that looks just like them. So are these like dragon minions? Or like something like that? Maybe, I don't know. Because the dragons we have seen so far are the, you know, they look like bigger versions of Kunavane. So, you know, they have that like the Asian, the Eastern dragon style of dragon is what they look like. So, oh, but there's the Leviathans, guys. I talked about those. You know, what's really interesting all the time is because even with the theory video that I made, I kind of thought about this after I released it, and I was like, there's something that really does not add up, and I really, to God, I hope that they don't retcon this shit. All we've ever known of the deep sea dragon minions was that they were tentacled horrors. So we always imagined the deep sea dragon to maybe even be something that's, so there's water here, guys. That's a lot of water too. To even be like some kind of tentacled horror, maybe like something with tentacles, because that's the emphasis. They like anywhere and everywhere in lore you look, it's always like there are these deep sea horrors or tentacled horrors that they call them. Okay, so what is it that they could maybe, I don't know, I don't want them to like retcon and be like, oh, but the dragon is like this like East Asian looking dragon, so why you know, these are not like, to pretty much not make them tentacled horrors at all. And I'm like, okay, but all in lore, like the Karka lore, the Crate lore, the Quacken lore, the Largos lore, all of them talk about like these tentacled horrors in the deep sea. Okay, like I've read those wiki pages so much over the last year because of all the videos I've made. I don't want them to retcon that and be like, oh yeah, the minions right here, they're fish. They're these rainbow fish or these serpentine dragons. I'm like, that's not tentacled horrors. You know, like, I don't know. Well, a dragon could have multiple types of minions too. We know this. So that's kind of where my theory video is going to, that like to kind of give it different options of what could be minions. You know, because even with like Mordramoth and stuff, we see like, you know, there's like Wyvern, like he has wyverns that like help him, but then they also have like the actual Mordram. Look, there's one of the Leviathan Worms. Ooh. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna go this way. This is like one of the most confusing areas ever, but I do want to go look at that at some point. But yeah, I don't want them to retcon anything anymore. Just use what you have available, use what you have already created in lore. And you can twist certain things where it's like, you know, they're not all tentacled horrors. Like they could do that as a twist. I wouldn't mind that. You know, where they're like, oh yeah, some of the tentacle horrors, like the really strong ones, the ones that drove out the Karka and the Crate and the Largos and the Quaggans, like, really? You're gonna run that way now? I'm not chasing you, so fuck you. I hope you're coming back, because I want to go all the way that way. I don't know. But yeah, there's a Leviathan Worm, which the Jade Maw was like based off of. Oh, they're coming back. Okay. That's Loral. Loral the Jade Cutter. Attack! Don't stand there. Gawking like Jesus. Attack! Why are you all coming back? Jesus. Nice. Look at all this Lexan faction that I'm getting. Maybe I'll work on a Jadeite armor at some point. Look at all these Oni. Alright, we're going up here now. I'm kind of swinging around this way, getting, because I know there was a group up there that we forgot. But yeah, there's a Leviathan Worm. Pretty big, right? That's, I mean, and this kind of compares to what the Jade Maw looks like in Guild Wars 2. It's comparative. It's not quite as big, I don't think. I think the Jade Maw in Guild Wars 2 is a little bit bigger than that, but and it has a big eye. You know, I pointed that out too. It's like, it doesn't look quite the same. It has a giant eye, you know, so, but I'm guessing it was supposed to be inspired by it, and they tried to like make it seem a little bit more intimidating by having a big eye. Because I remember, man, I was intimidated. First time I did fractals and I faced the Jade Maw, I was like, what is that? Yeah, so it's just one of those moments, and I'm like, it has a giant eye, it's looking at it. You know, it's a feeling of like Sauron, like the eye can see you anywhere. It's really creepy. Speaking of, I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings, like any of those movies. I haven't seen any of the Hobbit movies, like at all. And I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies in a very long time. So I kind of want to do that maybe at some point in time. I don't know. I think for Christmas, my own personal like Christmas like thing I want to do is I want to do like a Star Wars movie marathon. Which sounds really weird and it's like completely not fitting, but like just watch through all the movies, not in a day. I mean, that would be a bit extreme, I think, but like go through all of them in a row in a matter of a few days or something. That would be really cool. And just kind of like, I don't know, it'd be cool if I like could have some time off to do that. Like in a matter of a week, maybe. What looks, I don't know. Would I need a week to watch all of them? How many movies are there? There's not that many. There's the main 9, right? And then you have like Rogue One, and you have Solo. I mean, you could squeeze the Mandalorian in there too as like a show, but that already has like 2 seasons, like a ton of episodes, and then you would have to like add the other shows in there too. I don't want to do that. That's too much. That's too much. Are they making any more like of those movies? I don't know. I know they're working on like, I think they're making like more Mandalorian stuff. That was so popular. They better be making more of it. It was really good. It was really good. I really want to see that, like, what was Baby Yoda's name? I forgot. I only know him as Baby Yoda. My brain can't retain any other information. So Baby Yoda, I really want him to see him like kind of develop his power maybe in a way. That'd be kind of cool. That would be cool. Or maybe have like some other Jedis come back. Ahsoka would be really cool to see her more in action. But isn't she getting like her own show? I think Ahsoka is getting like her own show. I don't know. I haven't caught up on anything Star Wars in a while now, and I really hate it because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I kind of I feel like a failure as a fan to not have caught up on a lot of that stuff. So I might do that at some point soon. Maybe I'll do some stuff tomorrow during the afternoon, or maybe even tonight. Instead of playing video games, maybe doing some Star Wars stuff. Alright, so there's outcasts running over there. I don't know where I want to go. I don't want to miss. Oh, Oni. Oh, no, 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 no. This is outcasts coming down from above. Nice. And it's a boss, too. Oh, those were the runners. Okay, they just surprised me. That's okay. I'm probably going to die. But we're doing good so far. I mean, it's a ton, like, of enemies in this whole area. Is this part of... Is this part of it? What is this? Is that Silent Surf? No, Silent Surf is over here. Oh, I guess we'll have to find out. Guess we'll have to find out. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there in a minute. I gotta go south soon anyways. I'm gonna do all the northern stuff. I'm gonna try to get rid of all of these people up there, so there's more Leviathan worms here. That's what's so weird about that, as like Leviathans as like creatures. You know, it's so confusing. You know, I talked about it in the video about how on the wiki and stuff, there's like so much of like discrepancy between like what the Leviathan worms are versus what the like oh, we have these too. These are like they never brought these back. You can see some in Kryta. They swim around in Kryta, but we never see them alive. Like we never in Guild Wars 2 anyways, you know. Okay, kill him, her, whatever. But yeah, it's so crazy because they're apparently, I don't know, it was more like there was a lot of like infighting as well between the like wiki people, where like the one guy on the wiki was, I guess, changing a lot of the names on there, and people weren't okay with that because they were like, well, where did this guy get the information from? And they're like, oh, that's him. He always thinks he's right. And I don't even know who they're talking about. I'm just looking at the like discussion pages, right? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna change this and this because there's no evidence of like this stuff or whatever. But that's where like the discrepancies come in, because it's like some of the Leviathan, like the species we talked about, were like categorized by this guy as like crustaceans, but then they were changed back as Leviathan species by the other people that like all agreed with each other on this. And I don't know, it gets like really confusing because I'm just like, okay, we have like between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, we have like 5 different creatures or species of creatures called Leviathans. Between the like deep sea fish, the worm, and then the 3 different types of crustaceans. Like, it's weird. And then it's like, okay, and then we have like Zuhanuku is a kraken, but then in Guild Wars 2, the Jade Maw, which is a Guild Wars 1 Leviathan, is identified as a kraken. So it becomes very confusing on all the different types that they are. And I tried to like talk about that, and I tried to like make it as simple as possible and not get too deep into that discussion, because I didn't want to sit here and theorize like, oh, is this really crustacean, or should this be named whatever? Like, who cares really what they're categorized as? But it's just interesting to see those where it's like the Jade Maw is a kraken, and we don't talk about Tsuhanuku. Oh, I should have gone further. Why didn't I go that way? That's strange. Okay, that's fine. We'll go this way. I could have kept on walking, but I turned around. Do you see that? Oh, I didn't realize I could come down this way. Okay, got it. But it's just kind of crazy that specifically the word Leviathan, which, you know, Leviathan comes from the like, is it from like, is it like biblical or Norse mythology? It's one of those where it's like the like, this like giant sea serpent, right? That's what it's based off of. It's this like giant deep sea serpent or something, or it's like this deep sea creature or something. And it's just interesting to have that going into End of Dragons. That's why I kind of wanted to highlight it, because it's like, okay, we're talking about Leviathan, you know, the Leviathan, which is like this deep sea creature. and we have all these creatures called Leviathan, and then we have Leviathan Claw, Leviathan Eye, which is all like dragon minion names. So it's like, okay, is the deep sea dragon called Leviathan, or is one of them called Leviathan, like the Leviathan, you know? And then the other half could be something different. I don't know. Because to me, it still looks like there's one half of the dragon that's like maybe even sleeps, or is not asleep, but lives under in the deep sea, where the other one maybe not. That still is a possibility. And I really, to me, that's like this like weird idea of, yeah, we do have like two dragons possibly, but it's like, do they live together? Are they like apart from each other? Like, what's the deal with them? You know, because it's like, do they have the same powers, the same name? You know, I tweeted out to the to Guild Wars 2. I actually tweeted out, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 2 dragon names, because there's 2 dragons. Of course, I never got a response, but that's okay. It's like, I don't have a lot of Twitter followers anyways. I actually don't have any. I have like 6 Twitter followers. I don't tweet interesting things, so I'm not a super interesting person, so I never come up with quirky things to tweet or funny things to tweet, or, you know, I thought that was pretty cool when I tweeted that. I was like, ooh, and no one liked it. I was like, oh, I'll go fuck myself. That's okay. I'm not huge. Like, I think it really depends on which area you live in. Not necessarily like in the USA, but like anywhere. Because I think like where I come from, where I live right now, people aren't huge on Twitter. Like, everyone's on Facebook still, which is like, for the people that are on Twitter, Facebook is like yesterday's news, right? And it's just, do we have everyone here? I hope we have everyone here, because we're moving south now. So it's like, most people that are on Twitter are like, I don't use Facebook, I use Twitter. You know, people are on Twitter, and most businesses are on Twitter. Like, when you look at like the news, and when you look at like anything social media, it's usually like any company, like, you know, any games, anything like that, like even ArenaNet and stuff, they're always like, oh yeah, that was, you know, we talked about it on Twitter, or this was on Twitter and stuff. Like, no one talks about like, oh, it's all on our Facebook. You know, Facebook is always like a secondary thing for some of those people. So I feel like, you know, but then the people that I know in my personal life and stuff, they're all on like Facebook, and like Facebook is still their thing, which I'm like, is it because of where I live that people here like Facebook more? So that's why I don't have a lot of like Facebook or Twitter followers, because people around here still use like Facebook and stuff a lot rather than Twitter. So I would like to make the transition to Twitter, but I just, like I said, I don't have any followers on Twitter, and I don't tweet that much. I share tweets, like I retweet a lot of stuff, but I don't like to make my own tweets. Because I don't know, I feel like tweets have to be like these quirky things, or smart things, or funny things. I'm like, I am none of those, okay? Let's get real. I'm boring as all hell. I say so about myself. I like bashing myself, guys. I just, you know, just really just, you know, I just want to take the opportunity away from other people to do that. So I'm just mean to myself first, so that no one else is going to be mean to me. It's a good strategy. Because then, you know what? If I'm bashing myself and you bash me, that just makes you an asshole. Because I've met people like that, where like, specifically at jobs, I take whatever job I do. Is there like anything further back there? Can you like go around that? I don't think you can. No, oh, but there's Oni. Figured they would pop up somewhere around here. But it's like, that's one thing that I like at jobs has always like pissed me off, when like, because I'm a type of person, I like criticize myself more than anyone else could possibly do so. Okay, no worries. So it's like I criticize myself more than other people could possibly do to me. Like I always, like when I do something wrong, I know I've done something wrong, and I'm beating myself up more than you could possibly beat me up. So when I'm sitting here and I beat myself up over something, and then you beat me up on top of that, this just makes you an asshole, because I already know how how bad of a job I did, or how bad this thing is, or whatever. I already know all that. There's no reason for you to like rub it in even harder. Where it's like I get it, like I fucked up, or I did this wrong, or this wasn't good, or whatever. And it's like I get that. I don't get that when I make, like, I don't know, when I make videos and stuff like that. I don't, it really isn't like that. But when I, like, in my professional life, in my, like, in my job, I've seen that a lot, where I'm just like, I make a mistake, and then I'll be like, yeah, I really messed up. I'm so sorry. Like, I know that was really stupid, or I made like a big mistake or whatever. And then you have your boss like, yeah, that was really fucked up. You really fucked up. Do you know how bad that was? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I just said how bad that was. Like, I literally just told you how bad I understood, like how terrible this was that I did this mistake or whatever. Which, no mistake that you could possibly make is that bad. Unless I killed someone with it, it's really not that bad. Like, and I'm a server. I don't like, I don't work for the police or anything. So it's like, not saying that police go around killing people. We just had that, discussion the other day. But I'm just saying, like, it's, yeah. I criticize myself enough. I don't need someone else to criticize me on the things that I do wrong, So it's like I don't like getting lectures when I'm giving myself lectures internally already. Because, and that's what happens, like, in my head. I really sit there and I'm just like, wow, I really, like, fucked this up, or I really messed this up, or I really did this or that or whatever, and I'm like, man, this is not good. Like, I need to do better, and I'm really upset about this. And I'm a type of person that I don't, I don't do that to myself and I go around like smiling and I'm like happy. No, when I know I fucked up, like, I wear my emotions on my face. So when I fucked up, when I'm disappointed in myself, you can see it on my face, because I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, like, and it's not like I'm trying to act. It's literally how I am. I wear my emotions on my face. When I'm pissed off, you can see it. When I'm happy, you can see it. Like, it really is there. And so I feel like someone should get the clue. Like, hey, he's beating himself up enough. You don't need to necessarily bash him even more, So, I don't know, because I can understand the other side too. Because there's some people that don't understand the severity of things that they do. I've worked with plenty of people that have, like, fucked up at their job or something and made, like, a huge mistake on something, and then just kind of, like, shrug their shoulders like, okay, and, like, I'm sorry I did that, but, it is what it is. I guess we're gonna have to just deal with it, like that. And it's like, really? You don't even show any, like, remorse for the crap that you did. Especially in the, like, because I'm in the service industry, so, it's like, you usually, whatever you do kind of affects other people as well, usually 99% of the time, just because it's such, like, the service industry is so integrated, where like, even in retail and stuff, what one person does doesn't necessarily affect another person. But in the restaurant business, really, that happens a lot, where, like, if one person fucks up, it might affect, like, a bunch of other people. If one cook fucks up, that might, mess up a lot of people. Or if one hostess fucks up, it's a lot of different people that get affected. So it's when people in that industry don't show any remorse, then it's just kind of like, okay, listen, it's not just about you, but it's about, like, other people as well, So, I don't know. Alright, is there more enemies around here? In this back area? Because this leads right back to the front door. Ah, there is enemies. Ow, 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 ow. We'll just wait here for everyone to get here. We have a giant tail of people just following us. Well, we're doing pretty good. We're almost done with this. We'll have to come back around this way, and we'll have to finish up this area after we finish these guys. So I kind of wanted to do one of these and then end here, but I think it's going to be much better if I go in this area and just kind of, that way I can just like zigzag around and not have to worry about it. And if I like, because the problem is if I miss like a group here and I go all the way here, then I have to go all the way back, right? And that's just gonna suck really bad. So I'm trying to avoid having to do that, because these areas are really small, but you can see all the, like in this tunnel, I know I've gotten everyone. In this tunnel, I know now that I've gotten everyone. So I don't have to worry about those two tunnels anymore. Like this entire tunnel system right here, I don't have to go back into it. So if I'm looking for people, I know it's going to be out here or up here. And that makes it just that much easier for me. So. But yeah, the Jade Sea. Oh, look at that glitch up there. The skybox. See it? Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh, it's blocked by my name. But it's like a weird little bug at the very end there. In the very center of the skybox. I love the skyboxes here though. Like this is just looking at that background and the clouds flying by, it's very calming. Right? It's very calming and stuff. Guild Wars 1 doesn't have moving skyboxes. Whoa, what was that? Did you see that shaking? It usually means there's a worm around, but oh, I think it was just them fighting each other. Yeah, they were just fighting each other. Yeah. So we have a ton of factions here. Look at that. Holy crap. Nice. Okay, let's get these guys up here first before we move on. Oh, I can't. Wait, how do I get up there? Oh, that's where I came from earlier. I have to go around this way. Can I go back right around that way? I don't know. I want to get those first before I move on. How full am I? My inventory looks fine. Look at that. Even after killing 178, I only get these items. It's not that bad. Let's see what this is. Oh, look at that. I got a survivor insignia. That's always nice to have. I don't, one thing that I think like they really improved about, wait, I just went down there and they weren't there. I really hate that they have like these long travel paths. One thing that I really do think they improved on was like the crafting system, because Guild Wars 1 didn't really have a crafting system. It was more of like a trading system where you would find certain items and then you would or buy them, and then you would make armor, like materials, and then you would buy armor from them. Like you could salvage them, but it wasn't like you really had to craft to okay, we were just, okay, there's only let's kill these guys. And even with the insignias and stuff, some of it was really weird because I don't know, it's just I think the way they have done runes now in Guild Wars 2, they have runes for armors and then sigils for weapons. I think streamlined it a lot more and made it one really good system, because I really like the rune system because they can expand on that exponentially, because you can make all kinds of combinations between different things, and I wish they were to add more different rune combinations where I want to see more condition damage stuff and more things like that, where it's or even have a condition damage and vitality set or something, different rune sets and stuff. I think they've expanded on the, see, and I come down here and they're not here anymore. It's really stupid. It's really annoying. But I think they have expanded on it a great deal so far, and I really like that. And you're dead. There we go. Nice. So I think, yeah, so with the armor sets, I think they really have expanded on that because or the prefixes for the armor sets, right? I think they have done, they constantly add, I mean, during season 3, during season 3 and 4, I think it was, almost every episode had like a new set of prefixes, a new set of armors and stuff that you could get, and like armor prefixes and stuff. So that's really cool. I think I really like that idea. And I want them to do that more with like runes as well. Like give us more rune sets and stuff to like get. Because I think with like rune sets, there's still, and like maybe completely replace some of them. Because I think some of them are very like, no one's ever gonna use this. So what's the point of having that take up space or be something that you can get out of an armor that I'm salvaging? You know, I want to get something that I can use out of this armor. There's another one that was, I didn't even realize he was a boss. Because he's very yellow, and then he has a yellow aura around him, so it's like, because he's green and yellow and a little bit of orange there too. But you can kind of see the yellow when you're closer. Can't really see it otherwise. You know, the Coke they gave me was like really stale. Like, I like getting a Coke. Like, my thing is when I go get fast food, that's the only time I drink Coke. It's the only time I drink Coke. I drink water at the house, and at work I drink lemonade. And wow, that's a ton of outcasts. Jesus Christ. That's really annoying. I might die here. There's no... I think the next... Yeah, the next resurrection is up there. It's gonna be annoying. Oh my god, they're all coming! They're coming for us! Oh my god! Yeah, send the undead minions! Send them out. They can help. Go, go, go. What are you doing? Why are you coming back? Fight them, fight them, fight them. I know these guys are dying up there a lot, but that's okay. Wow, we really did a nice job. I did not expect... I expected to wipe. Some of them died, but that's okay. Because we're almost done anyway, so that's... We'll be fine. Awesome, that was great. Nice. Good job dying in our honor. In your own honor, really? So you came back to life. Forgot what I was saying. Totally lost my thought. Oh, talking about Wendy's Coke. That's what I was talking about. So, you know, the one time, once a month, I'll get a Coke when I have my fast food. I usually have fast food like once a month, maybe once every 2 months, maybe twice a month. You know, it varies, but usually not more often than that. And I eat plenty of other garbage. It's not like I'm super healthy or anything. We're really not. But the only like fast food that you go and order is really like once a month that I get. And yeah, so usually I get hiccups because of the carbonation. Usually like I'll take a sip and I'm like get like a hiccup because of the carbonation. I have to wait. Like sometimes I'll shake my drink a little bit to get the carbonation out because otherwise I can't, like it'll give me like constantly hiccups. And it didn't do that today. I was just like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, is your machine not working or something? What's going on there? I want my fizzy hiccup drink. Alright, this I think might be the last group. Here's to hoping. So yeah, so now where it's watered down, where the ice has like melted and it's like now mixed with the Coke. Tastes like shit. I'm gonna dump it out. I'm gonna get regular water. And get me in it. Oh god. Come on. Last enemy. Show me the money. Hey, we got it. Nice. Yay. Awesome. Another Vanquish done. Guys, we've done 3 of them. Boreas Seabed, Archipelagos, and Rhea's Crater, which that I was like, oh god. I think the hatchery took me longer than that. Oh, nice. I've already done Arborstone. Yeah, next week I'll probably do these areas down here. This is going to be the biggest one, I think, for this area. I've already done Unwaking Waters, which is interesting because the Whirlpool, you really only get to see that much of it. You don't get to see the other stuff around it, so... Silencer. I'll probably do that one because we're right here. It'd be interesting to kind of transition. You know, we did this, we have done this, that, and then this. Then that would give me everything for the Jade Seed. Let's finish up the Jade Seed today then, and then next week we can maybe finish up because we can do Ferndale. Ferndale might actually be the biggest area because that goes like all the way over here. There's that giant open field that you have here, and you have the little shrine right here that they have, the Wardens and stuff. They talk about that's like a shrine for the Wardens or something. I have done this area. Yeah, this might be a long one too, but that's okay. We'll do the last one, and then we'll be done for today. So, that'll be really cool. They're fighting. Yeah, they're fighting. I need a merchant. Merchant. There we go. Bastion. Bastion. I need a merchant. But yeah, then that way we'll be done with that. I thought, you know, guys, honestly, when I was like, oh god, we're gonna have to like vanquish, and it's gonna take forever. I'm gonna be at this for weeks. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We might get done fairly quickly here with this stuff. Well, on account that I've already done a lot of them. I don't know. Well, the Jaya Bluffs I've done. I've done the Kenya province. This we need to do. Sunko Vale I've done. Minister Chose Estate. These are going to be some harder areas that we're going to do. The trail here, that might be really hard to do. I don't know. It's not a lot of enemies. This is going to be a bitch because I know a lot of the enemies here suck. But I've already done some of them, as you can see. I've never completed an entire area of Vanquishing ever in my entire, like, quote-unquote Guild Wars 2 career, or Guild Wars 1 career. It's not a career, but you know what I mean. Alright, Silent Surf. Let's do it. Last area of the Jade Sea, and then we're going to do the Echo Wild Forest next week. I'm excited for that. Super duper excited for that. Okay. Silent Surf. It's a really weird area because there's some above, like on the bridges. There's a lot of bridges going on where you can like walk on top of the bridges and then underneath the bridges, and it's like very confusing in its own way. Hopefully there's not too many enemies. We'll kind of once we've killed the first couple groups, that will kind of determine. That will kind of tell us how big this area really is. I'll kind of do the same thing that I've been doing, where I'm like going in circles. I kind of want to see how far the Silent Surf goes, because we can go up here. We can go, I think, all the way up here. Does it go all the way up here? Is the Silent Surf this big? It's a big area. That's okay, we'll get it done. The outcasts are gonna suck to fight. Not looking forward to that. I'm not gonna go up on the bridges. I'm gonna leave that for later. I'm gonna do everything on the ground floor first, because I always hate running into fighting enemies that are down. Oh, Assassin's Construct. That's a Shirokan enemy right there. Alright, yeah, you casting that Chaos Storm. Chaos Storm is so good in Guild Wars 1, dude. I wish there was a way. I talked about this recently. I wish there was a way to like modify some skills in Guild Wars 2 where I'm like, because Chaos Storm is exclusively a condition damage. right? It like pulses condition damage, and it's pretty good too because it does like a ton of conditions for a lot of enemies and stuff. Um, but I just wish there was a possibility of like modifying it to the point where it just does damage in Guild Wars 2 instead of conditions. And I wish there was more options to do that. They have done the like modifications on certain stuff with like traits. You see it on the Guardian Hammer. You see it on the Scepter for Necro, where certain skills change depending on which traits you use. And I wish they embraced that more, because what that would do is it would open up the possibility of using other weapons on other builds, right? And that would be... There's nothing back here. What in the fucking hell is going on here? And it would just create more possibilities of stuff that you can use. Oh. Oni spawned. I figured Oni would spawn in that corner. I gotta kill him now that he spawned. He spawned, but he never came for me. Did the other one spawn too? Yeah, there we go. Hi, friends. So it'd be really cool to see that, where like I think the same could be done for like the Mesmer Scepter, because the Mesmer Scepter, when you look at the actual skills, the attack damage on the actual weapon damage that you do isn't that bad, but it's just not that great. There's like, you know, it just doesn't compete with the greatsword in a matter of pure damage, you know. But it's more of like a condition, regular damage, like hybrid kind of thing, like power damage versus and condition damage, like hybrid. You can probably use that, but it would be cool if there was something where all the conditions get like taken away and they now become like pure damage skills or something. That would be really cool, where like the 3 skill, instead of like applying confusion, it just does like extra damage, and if all stacks hit, it does like an extra attack maybe or something at the end. Something like that, I don't know. But I've talked about this before too, where I would like to see changes done to some of the older skills anyways. I think specifically the elemental skills need to be looked at. I think that I think overhaul some of the older skills, you know. I mean, they did this throughout Guild Wars 1 all the time. There was all the time skills that they like redid. They did something with them. They like, okay, we're changing the usability of them or whatever. And kind of like not just tweak the numbers, but like actually tweak the actual skills. And I kind of want to see that more. I do want to see that more in Guild Wars 2, where they kind of redo, you know, the staff on the Guardian, I think, is the best example for that, where they redid like the 1, 2, and 3 skill, and then changed the 4 skill a little bit, and that made the weapon so good. It's like my favorite Guardian weapon to use now. I know that it's not like meta, it doesn't do the most damage and stuff, and it doesn't have to, but it just feels fresh and it feels good and it feels nice, you know, to have some new skills on old weapons. I can't actually go there. So you see another one of those ships, but you can't actually go to it. So it's just kind of hanging out there. Kind of cool. Ooh, and you see one of those turtles? Is that right? Oh, one of those wait, what is that? Is that a turtle? Wow. Does it actually move, or is it just stationary? Oh, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, you guys are annoying. Scourge Wind, Elder Guardian, you need to die. He's cool too, I love his design. But that's really cool. Yeah, he doesn't actually move. He kind of shimmies back and forth. But yeah, look at this guy. So, you know, talking about like tentacled horrors, I mean, he's supposed to be a turtle. But look at him, he has like tentacles for hands. And he carries like all the stuff on there and stuff. That's really cool. I've never seen that. I've never paid attention to that, I don't think. That's really awesome. Wonder if we can get like an even closer. Oh, you kind of can get closer if you go like over here. Look at him, he's awesome. And there's another one in the back. He's doing the same thing. You can kind of see his shell better because he has all kinds of stuff on his. But You see all the shells there? They're like snails. They're not really like turtles. They look more like they have like snails, like houses or whatever. All right. Now we can go down here. We can go here. I'll go across the island here, and we'll do whatever from there. Let's see. So this area has probably, I'm guessing, like 250 enemies, maybe. We're like a fifth of the way there with like 50 enemies that we killed. Of course, if Oni spawn, which I think they do right here. There's a group of Oni that Oni that spawns right here. No, really? I could have sworn that there's Oni here that spawn. Okay, well, I guess I'll take it. Because that's what the area, I thought that's why the area is like free of enemies, because they spawn like Oni. Like we saw in that one corner that I went into. So, but it's really cool because you look across the like Jade Sea and stuff. Imagine this was like HD graphics, like redone, like, because you know that, I mean, that doesn't look that good, but imagine they could like really do cool, like they could do some really cool splash thing. I mean, the waves look really well done. It's not bad looking, but it's just, I think in certain aspects it kind of shows his age, and I think right there those are like a perfect example of that, where that kind of like, you see these are like 2D little like slaps that are just put on there, you know. But other than that, I mean, you look at the Jade Sea and you look at the waves and stuff, that looks really cool. You know, you can really see the ripples, the waves and stuff. They did a nice job with that. Alright, Assassin's Construct. I'm sure he spawns a bunch of enemies around him, so there's no way he's just by himself. There's just no way. Song of the Mists. So we deal with another song here. We're talking about Blade Song. Destiny. Destiny's nothing but justice without something. Oh, Gwen, you stupid bitch. I'm gonna kind of go this way. No, I want to finish up the northern part. Let's do the northern part first, because we can't go anywhere past that point. So it's over here is like the only part. So let's finish that up and then we can move. Okay, we can't go anywhere there. Let's make no Oni spawn. Onis just take time away. They do. They just take time. And they don't even count. If they don't spawn, they don't count. So, alright, we'll come down here. Look, that looks so cool. Like with the rock in the middle, how the waves are splashing against it and stuff. It's really awesome. Even though it's kind of weird that the waves, I don't know, you would think they would come from the whirlpool. But again, it's a giant sea, so. But you can see the waves, like right here. How they like. This has all been like dug up, right? As we were going through here, you can still see some of the crystalline waves on the edges and stuff, but it's mostly all dug up. This is all like mining stuff, and this is, I think, where they kind of talk about like the deep and stuff is like, I think it happens like way back here. I think like way in the far part. I don't know if you can actually see where the deep is, but I would guess it to be somewhere over there. So. Ooh, we're dying. That's not good. Well, there's a resurrection shrine right there, so we'll be okay. Storm artifact, one of my favorite foci in the game. It's just these crystals that you can have like floating around your hand. They kind of have one of those in Guild Wars 2, but it's a little bit different. It's one of the Hall Monument skins. It's really cool because it's very simple, but it's also like, because I hate necessarily having to carry something as a foci. Like if you're a magician and stuff, it's kind of cool to have something float around your hand, you know. It's like, I'm magically imbued kind of thing, you know, so. Okay, so we were on that side. We came down there. We did all that. Oh, there's some enemies there. Another one. Look at him. Look at him. He's so doofy. The way he's hopping around. These guys are walking and he's like, da 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 da. He's hopping around. Oh, what's going on here? There's way too many enemies. They weren't here earlier. Ooh, and someone is attacking me over there. Wow, look at that. Jade Mall. It's a Jade Mall over there. Okay. Oh, God. The enemies are coming this far? Go back. I'll get to you later. Gee. 50 enemies slain? I'm at 79. Oh, I didn't slay them. So if the enemies are slain by someone else, which that happened, we kind of walked by some of the fights and stuff. They don't count towards my, like, counter on the bottom, which doesn't really, I don't think it really affects me. Anyway, it's just because you have a counter down below that tells you how many you've killed. So. It's interesting to make some of these enemies fight each other. Ooh, there's a Leviathan mouse over there. I really, you know, one worry that I really have is having made all those theory videos and obviously being probably wrong on some of the map stuff. The map theory video is a little bit out there because they can really use any part of this entire map for whatever they want to do, and clearly they're using it that way, where Xingji is one whole island by itself. We kind of already figured that out. And I guess, I suppose, on that theory, I was kind of right. But then I, like, you know, was trying to figure out how they would do Kaineng. And then I figured out how they would do it. But then they did it completely different. So they can use really any part of that map for themselves. So I'm not too upset that, like, maybe I'm going to be wrong on a lot of this stuff. I kind of want to get to the edges to get some of the exploration done here, you know? Because I think you can, like, reveal, like, unfog some stuff back here, maybe. It's weird how those turtles are not actually on the map, because we know they're back there. Okay, let's fight these enemies. We're here for fighting, not for doing the thing. Oh God, we're gonna cross paths with these guys. Let's fight these guys. But yeah, my worry is just that a lot of those theories, like, if my theories are, like, completely wrong, I'm gonna be like, oh God, I put so much effort into all these theories and they're all wrong. Like, not that that's necessarily, like, you know, that should be expected. I shouldn't expect my theories to be right because a lot of them are very far-fetched. But it'd just be really nice if some of that really worked out and I could be like, wow, really? I made this theory and it worked out and it's really, like, what came to be. Because then, if that doesn't happen, that makes me question, like, the way that I theorize about stuff. Ooh, look, they killed these guys over there. Holy crap. So I'm just kind of like, let some of the stuff please be true so that I can, like, at least be proud of myself for, like, coming up with some stuff, so. You know, and some of those videos, oh, you can see the other turtle, the one that was in the background, you can kind of see it. Because there's that first one that we saw, there's a second one. You know, and with theory videos and stuff like that, like, one thing that I was talking to someone about, someone at my job actually, I was telling them about, like, they don't know anything about video games, and, you know, it was just, we were just talking, and I was telling them, because they asked me, like, oh, what videos do you make and stuff, you know, and so I kind of explained, and I said, you know, one thing that's kind of bad about the videos that I make, like theory videos and stuff, once the actual stuff that I theorize about comes true, that video becomes obsolete, or it doesn't even come true when they reveal the nature of whatever I'm theorizing about. Then that video becomes obsolete, right? Because then it's now set in stone and we don't want to theorize about that anymore. Where some of the older theories that people have had were, you know, people have had theories about, like, the gods and stuff, which, you know, I have that one theory about Malagan maybe even being Melandru's sister. And, you know, people like there's scholars that are saying that, oh, Malagan is Melandru, and the Quaggan just don't understand that. But the Quaggans are like, no, 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 it's not, because when you talk to the Quaggans, they will say like, no, Melander is not Malagan. Like that's not, it's not the same. Um, so it's just like my theory is that maybe Malagan is a sister. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was like, oh, I can't even see it. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it's like, so my theory there was that like Malagan is maybe a sister to Melandru and no one really knows about her. Oh, God, I did that again. That's the same mistake. And no one really knows about her, and she's actually like her sister who lives in the deep sea, and that's why the humans don't know about her, because she wasn't part of the like pantheon of the like human gods, because she was like, oh well, humans don't live. Oh, we haven't seen Leviathan eyes yet. That's interesting. Where she probably was like, no, I wanna be the goddess of a creature that lives underwater because I'm a water goddess, or like something like that, or like I'm a creature that lives, I'm some kind of being that lives underwater, so I want to be someone's like, deity that maybe can appreciate that more. So she ended up like not going with the human gods, the other gods to like Ara, but she instead went to like the deep sea and found the Quaggans and was like, no, you know what, I like you guys and I'm gonna be your deity or whatever. Because they do talk about in the Quaggan lore specifically about oh my god, we're all dying. This is bad. That's a mesmer? Jesus. They talk in the Quaggan lore specifically about how the Quaggans used to have like a monarchy. There was like an actual king of the Quaggans. And it's really interesting because they don't talk about this like enough. I feel like this is something that really needs to be talked about. And the like deep sea dragon video that the underwater expansion video that I talked about, I talked about there's so many underwater cultures that we don't know a lot about. Talking about Largos and Quaggan specifically, a lot of Kraid and Naga and stuff like that. But one of the things was the Quaggan lore, and the Quaggan lore talks about how there used to be a king, and I think was it the Kraid or the Largos? Some other race came in there and destroyed their palace, which houses like, they actually talked about like this, they put it like really vague, I think, in a way, but it talks about how there was like this big statue of Malagan, but I think it's like implied that that was like the embodiment of Malagan. So I'm like thinking like maybe Malagan like turned herself to stone or something. Maybe it was one of those, like, if anyone knows the story of the siren Aurora, was that her name? Lorelei, not Aurora, Lorelei. The which is like a German folklore thing actually. But she like, it was about the sailor or whatever that like left her, and she like stayed on the like cliff, and then she ended up turning into stone because she waited there for so long, and she's like the stone figure at the cliff or whatever. I can't believe I said Aurora. It's Lorelei. But maybe it's the same kind of thing where Malagan did that, where Malagan was like, for one reason or another, after many years of being with the Quaggan, maybe turned herself to stone. And so now these Quaggans still worship her because she's now the statue in their like hometown. And over the years, it's kind of like the stories were like, oh yeah, Malagan was amongst the people, but maybe that part was forgotten, and they were just like, oh yeah, Malagan is this goddess that we worship, and then they find Melander's statues that have sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and they're like, oh, that looks just like Malagan, like, and they're just like, oh my god, let's worship her just like we do Malagan and stuff. So but I would really love to see the destroyed home of the Quaggans, like the royal city that they had with like, this palace or something, like underwater palace. It would, like, it kind of reminds me, like when I think about it, it kind of reminds me of like the how the Gungans have that like underwater like city, you know, Auto Gunga or whatever it's called, Auto Gunga or something. I don't know, whatever that's called, but um, you know, that we see in like episode 1, Star Wars episode 1. That would be really cool to see something like that, like this giant like underwater city. We've seen like Quaggan towns and stuff, but I mean like this giant like city with like a giant palace in the middle, and having like, you know, it could be destroyed and stuff, but maybe having like this destroyed statue of Malagan there, and we like find out more about Malagan and stuff. Like that could really be something that we could have as an expansion, because I, you know, I think it's pretty obvious that we're not going to get a lot of underwater stuff, and I think that that still leaves it open for Guild Wars 2 to have an underwater expansion at some point. They just would have to work on some of the underwater skills and on the underwater combat and stuff, because the underwater combat isn't bad. It just kind of feels like I think what I would like to see is to have, speaking specifically about underwater content, I think what I need to see, God, I don't even know where to go. It's like I need to go here and here and here and blah, 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 everywhere. That's fine. Figure it out. Let's fight these eyes. I think what I would love to see for underwater combat is, because we have already, when we go underwater, we load like a whole nother set of skills, right? We load up the underwater set, right? We load up the utility skills. Like we have our own bar for underwater. What I would like to see is have a whole trait set for underwater, like where we go underwater and it loads a template of like our underwater template for our traits. And what I would like to see is have them add for every class, add an underwater. I think I'm gonna add that to my video. Before I lose that thought. I'm just writing notes down for a future video. But what I would like to see that where, you know, you load up your underwater set of like your traits and stuff, and I wish they would add a trade line that's just about underwater combat, that literally just interacts with everything you do underwater, and that you can have that line as like your elite no, not even elite spec line, because some elite specs work underwater, so they shouldn't even do that. It should be one of the regular lines, but it only activates underwater. That's what I would love to see. So that way, when you go underwater, you get that underwater line that deals with like, oh, you know, that makes like spears for warriors like stronger or whatever. And there's a lot of stuff, and they can take those traits that they have combined with the other stuff, with like, where it's like, I think on like, doesn't Thief have where it's like pistol and spear attacks now pierce? It's like they could have that separated. You know, they could really have that where it's two separate things, and really concentrate on like underwater combat. And that way they can kind of modify the underwater combat and actually give us like challenging things. Because if we get a whole line that just deals with underwater stuff, we could have 3 Grandmasters that deal with like underwater weapons or something. And I think every class can only use 2 underwater weapons, right? So you could even have Grandmasters where like one maybe is like this regular trait that doesn't deal with any of the 2 weapons, so you can pick either or, and then have the other 2 be specific on those other 2 weapons, where it's like for the Mesmer with the trident and the spear, right? And it's like, okay, this Grandmaster deals heavily with like condition damage on the trident, or just power damage on the spear. Like those are 2 separate traits, and I would really like to see that. And then that way they could do more underwater combat, because I find it a shame that they like they do so many cop-outs not to do underwater combat. Like we saw that with like Lake Doric, right? With Lake Doric, they were like, oh yeah, the dam blew up and there's no more water in the lake, and it's like, really, like, I get that most people don't like it, but I still would like to see that because it feels very unnatural with the way that we're avoiding water now. Where the core game was never afraid to include water. It was always like, oh yeah, there's water and stuff. And I think even um in season 3, it was like so cringeworthy where um what was it? What was the thing that I was thinking about specifically? Bitterfrost Frontier, right? You have this like frozen lake, but then they open up the frozen lake for you to go underneath, but there's nothing to do under there. There's literally not ever a reason for you to go under there, and it's like, what? You know, they put a whole Quaggan town down there. Cool. They could have put them on the ship, and it would have changed nothing. Literally wouldn't have changed a thing. You know, they kind of missed having this whole second part of the map, which is underneath the ice, be something really cool. And that kind of, you know, I'm like, it's really cringeworthy how they like avoid it. A lot of the stuff they do, like, you know, Siren's Reef, you can't, like in the Fractal, you know, you can't get in the water because these like flesh-eating like piranhas or whatever like come and eat you when you're in the water. And it's just like, really, this is how you're avoiding like underwater combat? It's really cringeworthy sometimes in some instances. So I would like them to just work on it so that in that way you can include underwater combat and can make the maps feel more natural. I would really like to see that. Really, really like to see that. Okay, I'm almost done here, and we're almost done with the stream as well. It is now midnight for me. Usually I end at midnight. I'm gonna finish up this stream. What is this? Oh, I spit. Huh, gross. Did I finish everything here? I kind of feel like I'm missing something. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I did. No, I got all those there. Okay. Let's just keep moving. We'll see. I have to like backtrack and stuff. So once I'm finished with this map, I'm gonna head out. We only have a few more enemies. We should only have like these enemies. Maybe some enemies up here. I can't believe you're not allowed to go up there. It looks very detailed up there. Looks like it doesn't have actually access to it. You can kind of look at the trees from shore. Where is it? Right over there. You can kind of look at the trees and stuff, but it looks like you can walk around there. Apparently not. So, but I mean, if you compare even the underwater combat in Guild Wars 2 with like a lot of like other MMOs and stuff, it still is one of the best underwater combats. I just think that a lot of MMOs have avoided that. And, you know, I remember one part, like one really great like memory that I have of World of Warcraft was actually going to that underwater map that they had. I forgot what it's called, but I remember you had to like do this whole like quest line, and you got like this, you got the, it was like a seahorse mount that you got, and you could ride around, and you had to like travel along into like, and you would have like all these quest lines, and you would go along this like really cool underwater map, and I'm like, man, it's really cool. Like, I get that that's probably not like the best thing for like, I don't know, I know a lot of people don't like that stuff, but to me that was really cool. I love that stuff, and I would really love to have that in Guild Wars 2 as well. Because I know they could really create something really cool with it. They just like avoid it now because they haven't updated. They have updated the underwater skills, but then they haven't done anything after that with underwater. It's like, okay, and they added, you know, one thing they did do is add a new weapon for the Revenant, and that new weapon is great. It's a great weapon. I love that weapon. The Trident for the Revenant feels really great with the way that it interacts with like having different legends, doing different things. Like, I think we talked about this recently where I think that's a great idea and stuff. I think, you know, if they were to like put a little bit of effort into the underwater, it could really be something cool. And it doesn't have to be like, it could just be some open world stuff. It doesn't have to be like instance. Like, I get balancing for like raids and stuff is really hard to do, and then they don't want to add all these other things. I want to see what's on the other side of this. Far up here can I go? Far enough. Nothing, guys. The map's ends right there. No crabs or anything that are crabs. I meant turtles. No turtles that are like walking around or anything that we saw up here. So that's just the endless Jade Sea back there. Oh, we got another quarry type of thing right here. Interesting. Is there enemies down there? Is there enemies down there? I don't know. Take a peek. Can we actually get in there? Oh, you can't. Ooh. Looks cool. Alright, another quarry. Okay, nice. Seen plenty of those. Well, we're almost done with the Jade Sea, guys. We finished the Jade Sea today. That's gonna be the last of it. Awesome. And then we're gonna do the Echovald Forest next week, so that's gonna be fun. We'll finish up Cantha before you know it. And then tomorrow, I will be doing more of my Pacifist run, because I do want to finish that. That's Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 Pacifist run. Getting kind of tough in some areas now, and like leveling is becoming kind of hard. We will start out probably, like I said, I will be going to the actual Harathi, because I don't think I can go to any other map that is higher level. So we'll start with Harathi, and I might have to like, because I know I said I'm not going to use like waypoints and stuff. Oh wow, I finished it. Oh cool, awesome. That was just spirits that I was fighting. Yay, we finished it. It's 175 enemies. Oh, 228. I only defeated 175 myself. Awesome. Cool. There's a whole stretch of nothing here. Whoa, look at that. We're full. I'm full on it. That's crazy. Crazy. How much did I get? Wow. 11,000 faction. Holy crap. I'm going to go turn that in before I forget. Because if I log off now, I'm going to forget. And then I'm going to be sad. But yeah, so we're going to do the pacifist run. I'm going to walk to Harathi, or I'm going to teleport to Harathi. Whatever. We're going to start with Harathi. And then once we're finished with Harathi on that, I'm probably going to teleport back to the bottom of like Lornar's Pass, and we can like go further down. But I know I said I wouldn't waypoint and stuff, but it's not like I'm trying to like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make it fast. I'm trying to like not do that. Okay, so I used 60,000 to get some of these. So we have space there, and then I'm gonna find a merchant. Nora. This was super fun. I had a great time doing this. You know, to me, honestly, the Jade Sea is pretty empty. I don't know, I always thought there was like more to see in the Jade Sea, but there really isn't. If you like look at all the different things. Wait, never identified that Jade Sword. Ooh, it's zealous. Nice. Bye. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Alright, these I want to keep. But I think if you compare it to the Echovald Forest, I think they have more interesting things in the Echovald Forest. Because like I said, there's that little, well, there's Arborstone, which has, as you guys can see right here, it's really interesting. When I did Arborstone, there's like, you start right here, and there's like three distinct paths. There's one that leads through Arborstone, which kind of the mission Arborstone actually takes you from this side, and you can pick the three paths, and you can decide to go this way around, you can go this way, or you can go straight through, right? When you start Vanquishing, you start on this side, and you can either go north, you can go this, you can go west, or you can go northwest through the cathedral, right? Cathedral, of course, has like a ton of enemies in there. There's like chandeliers hanging. There's no actual rooms. It's like one giant room with like staircases and stuff. This side is really cool because this has like this garden type of thing on the north side here, where you have like these hedges and stuff, and there's a little well and stuff. So it really makes it feel like this like medieval like big cathedral that people used to live in. Like they really make a nice job of some like showing that a little bit. You know, have that little bridge that leads across here to that little island. But then when you go the other way, this is more of like into like the foresty tunnels, like rocky tunnels. But then you can go further, and there is like this little path that leads into this like ritual chamber. And I don't know if there's like a quest that takes you there, but it's really crazy because it's like this, you can see it on the map. It's like this red room and it has this like giant symbol on the ground and it just looks like someone would do like sacrifices in there or something. But I don't know if there's ever like a quest that yes, I do too. I love the theme. Hi Chris, by the way. I do love the theme of the Echowild Forest. So we'll see all that next week. I'm not going to show the Arborstone Cathedral because we've already done that. I guess I'll keep the Wayfarer thingies on me. Do I have anything else in here? Nope, I'll just deposit 11,601 to keep 1 platinum on myself. Okay, there we go. Alright, we have a ton of money. Nothing to do with it. Armor? Is this the one where I get the yeah, the Luxon armor? Yeah, okay. Huh. You came right at the end of my stream too, because I'm about to leave. But yeah, so I don't know, compared to what we have seen here, you know, we did the Boreas seabed, which yes, had that big ship in the middle. Wasn't much to see there. Has the arena there, has the guild hall. That was kind of cool seeing that. This area, when I did this area, I didn't do this on stream, but there isn't really anything of note there. There's like bridges and intertwining pathways and stuff. There's a little town right outside, I think it's like right here, outside of Eridon. That's kind of weird. The hatchery, of course, has that big ship there that's like kind of stuck there. There's another one of those there. But other than that, there's not much there either. And then we did Reyes. The only thing in Reyes is like the block right here where you can see the Leviathan, and then the couple of blocks that are up here. Other than that, it's all like, you know, there's some water. It's like, oh, water, oh, cool, whatever. Silent Serve had nothing. You guys saw, I mean, there's ships and stuff, but there's nothing. Like I said, there's like bridges and stuff. Like it has like 4 bridges you can move around in. But then I think when we move into like, well, and then Harvest Temple, of course, has like its giant temple in the middle, but that's about it. But when you move in here, you know, you have the giant cathedral here, and then you have the like little temple right here, and there's like all these little things to see. You know, you have that thing, which I think it's like someone's house that in one of the quests you have to pick them up right there. You have that like river that flows through here. There's some water there. I don't know. It has like more interesting things, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. And like I said, tomorrow is gonna be Pacifist Run, and then Tuesday we're doing the Festival of the Four Winds, guys. Super exciting. I was kind of sad because some people were like, "Oh, we might not get the festival because they, you know, it's supposed to be right now," and then it wasn't. Like, you know, it was supposed to be like 2 weeks ago was the like annual time they have it, and they didn't have it, so some people were like, I guess we're not getting it. So, which is very upsetting because I love the Labyrinthian Cliffs or whatever they're called, the Labyrinthine Cliffs or whatever they're called, and I was very sad about that. But then they were like, no, it's coming, we just delayed it because of the beta week, and I was like, oh my god, great. So I'm excited. Whoa, this person just logged in. So I'm excited to do that on Tuesday. I'll probably just do that. It's a cool map to hang out at. Maybe I'll do some gauntlet stuff. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I haven't done those in a long time, and I think I have a lot of like good builds for it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I will have to look because I think my Mirage would do pretty well in some of those. In the pavilion, in the Crown Pavilion or whatever. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys for everyone that was here. I know there was quite a few people here. And yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow whenever. And yeah, that's it. All right, bye guys.